Hello, my friends,
Hello.
and welcome to another story with Pastor Jonathan and Reverend Sarah. We are so glad that you are here today. Today's story takes us back, and we're going in the book of John, where we hear a story about Jesus.
One day, Jesus was walking and he saw a man who had been born blind. This blind man hadn't known any other life. He couldn't see flowers. He couldn't see people. He couldn't see whether someone was looking at him or ignoring him. He couldn't see anything.
Hey, buddy.
Is that a fresh loaf of sourdough bread? Oh, thank you. Susan?
My name's James.
Really again.
But something special was about to happen to this man.
You see, when Jesus saw him, he did something pretty strange, very strange. He spit into the dirt and made some mud in his hands, but not only did he make the mud in his hands, he then put them on the man's eyes and then told him, "Now go wash in the pool of Siloam."
Now, go wash your eyes in the pool of Siloam.
My bathtub won't work.
When he had washed his face, he was suddenly able to see.
I'm so handsome!
So naturally, he ran back to where he had been so that he could find Jesus, but he wasn't there.
The neighbors who had seen this man for most of his life said,
Isn't that the man that was born blind? Yeah, it is.
some confirmed, saying, yeah, that's him, but still others who couldn't believe that this miracle had taken place said,
That looks like him, but there's no way that's him.
So they asked him, "Are you the man who had been born blind?" And he excitedly tells them, "Yes, it is me."
Is it really you?
Yes it is.
So all those who had began to gather around him asked, "Then how are you suddenly able to see? Who has opened your eyes?" And he wasn't sure exactly how to answer this, as he couldn't see before. So he simply said what he knew to be true.
Totally sure, but the man named Jesus made mud in his hands and smeared it over my eyes and told me to go bathe in the waters of Siloam, and I could see.
So they asked him, "Where?"
Where is he?
And because he himself was still looking for Jesus, he simply said,
I don't know.
Now the Pharisees began to ask questions as well, and it seemed the whole town was in a frenzy trying to figure out just what had happened. Well, the blind man didn't know who Jesus was, and those who had seen the blind man healed, well, they wanted to find Jesus, and the Pharisees wanted to find Jesus. But after all the questions from the Pharisees, they didn't really believe that Jesus could have done this. They didn't believe that Jesus could have healed this man. So they called him a liar and sent him away.
You don't believe me? Fine, I'm out.
Jesus, having heard about the man being sent away, went looking for the man as well. And finally, when their paths crossed, Jesus said to him,
Do you know who the Son of Man is?
No, but if you show me him, then I will worship him.
You have seen him before, and he is the one who is speaking to you now.
So the blind man began to worship Jesus.
Have you ever felt like you were given sight? Maybe you knew something to be true that you hadn't seen before. Maybe you saw someone that was being made fun of and you knew that was wrong, but everyone around you was laughing. This is kind of like our story today. Sometimes our eyes are open to things that might seem serious, miraculous, silly, or weird, but not everyone will see what we see.
But it's important for us to remember during these times that just because no one else sees, it doesn't mean that we are wrong or that we are still blind. Indeed, perhaps we have something to show the rest of the world. Now, we could tell you the next story. We love to tell stories, but it'll just have to wait until next time. Until then, be kind, do good,
and love your neighbors. Bye.